Hello everyone and welcome to another kit review, this time on one of the sort of stalwarts of British shooting or deer stalking, the Tikka T3 Rifles. We've got two here on the table with us and Harry's going to talk through his own personal Tikka.
Yes, thank you Tom. This is my first ever rifle, the Tikka T3, bog standard, synthetic, standard barrel.
Yeah.
You can't get any cheaper, more standard than this. I think I paid about 600 quid for it in very similar state to what it is in now, not including the Bible obviously.
Second hand.
Second hand,
yeah.
And it did me for a good 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah.
And I've shot everything apart from Seeker.
So you shot red with it?
Shot red with it, yeah, 243 in mine, so
yeah.
it can definitely do the business. Heinz, not Stag.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what more to say about them than they're absolutely fantastic rifles. Reliable as you like, ergonomic, easy to customise, accurate, very good value. They're just absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and they just keep making them better and better and better.
And we were saying earlier as well that I don't think ever heard anyone to have a problem with one, as in of all the people I've ever known to have a Tikka, and if you look on any of the forums, there's no one saying, oh, I've had a problem with this, and other people saying, oh yeah, me too. Not like some other rifle manufacturers where people are constantly complaining about something wrong with them.
No. And there are some small things with the T3, which is obviously precedes your one.
Yeah.
For instance, the recoil lugs on them, they were quite soft steel, I think, to begin with, so they did start to indent, but they're very easy to replace. To be honest, it never affected accuracy, but when you sort of took it apart, you could see that it had an indent in it, so I put a new one of those in. The other thing that people do complain about is the bolt shrouds, which were kind of cheaper plastic on the T3s. They improved that for the T3X. What else really? I mean, you can replace absolutely everything on them. The one downside I say to this is the stock, which if I'd had it any longer, I probably would have replaced. I mean, they have the benefit of not being really flexible. Like, if you pick up like a Hauer or a Ruger American, for instance, you put them down. This is just my experience, and you kind of push down on the bipod, and the front of the stock hits the barrel, and you just think, okay, well that's not really ideal. These, they're stiff and they're fine. They're absolutely brilliant. My dog's had a good chew on this, you can see. But they're a little bit plasticky and not terribly ergonomic. But they're absolutely fine. And for the money, you can't really complain about that at all.
And that, I think, is one of the other major plus points, is that if this plastic stock isn't your thing, then you can order one with a wooden stock, or you can order one with, they've even got stock, sort of laminate stock now. I mean, and they're so customisable even before you order them, in terms of you can have fluted barrels, screw cut, you can now get ones with different stocks, different cheek pieces, fluted bolts, you can have stainless, you can have blued. I'm amazed at the different options out there to get for them, and that's before you even sort of get them home and start playing around with them like I've done on this one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've seen, this is my kind of standard starter rifle. This is Tom's T3X.
Yeah.
Tell us what you've done, because it's, these are essentially, the actions are very similar, aren't they?
Completely the same basically, aren't they? So it started out life it was a Tikka T3X, so it had an upgraded recoil lug and bolt shroud. I think were the main changes from the T3, and a slightly larger ejection port, because I think some people were complaining that they couldn't eject cases all the time. So that's all this one was. Started out life in the normal wooden stock. I upgraded it for something a little bit ergonomic, mainly sort of pistol grip. The stock's a little bit heavier. That wasn't really sort of one of the intended purposes, but it works really well. I got a Spartan bipod adapter in the front of it as well, whereas on this one I had the sort of add-on plastic bit, which was just sort of getting in the way a bit. And that's, to be honest, is all I've actually sort of done to it really, is drop it into a different stock, and it's a completely different rifle, and very, very happy with it. I can't, again, similar to Harry, can't really fault them. This is the second Tikka I've owned. I had the Tikka T3X Varmint before, which is basically, again, same pretty well. It looks very similar to this, but it's got a bull barrel and a slightly wider sort of fore end on it. It was an absolute tack driver in terms of you could put bullets through the same hole consistently over and over again. The only problem was I primarily used it for stalking, and it was just, the barrel was just a bit too heavy, especially if you had it slung over your shoulder. You'd find it was constantly sort of wanting to rotate barrel down, which is not how I sort of carry my rifles really. And yeah, I can't praise Tikkas anymore really. In terms of if you really wanted to go hell for leather with this rifle, you could upgrade the bottom metal, you can upgrade the trigger, you can upgrade some of the bits inside, the action. They're fully customizable. I can't see what else you can get for the money that is as good out the box as a Tikka rifle. They're what I would recommend every day of the week if someone said I want to buy a decent rifle for stalking, and don't particularly want to have to go out and buy another one within a couple of years. I think some of the other cheaper models out there you'll buy, and you'll either have to customise them because you'll feel like you have to make them any good, or you'll end up changing it in for something different, whereas with one of these you genuinely could keep them for life.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I bought this 6 years ago or something, and it was second hand when I bought it, and it'll still, do 3-round groups, in your thumb. And I don't think I'd ever bring myself ready to sell it because they're just so great.
Yeah.
If you wanted something new or a bit different, you'd just fiddle around with the stock or something like that. So they're just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Well, there you go. On that note, guys, thank you very much for joining us for another kit review. If you've got anything positive to say about Tikka rifles, drop us a comment or a line. If you've got any questions, equally let us know. If not, see you on the next one.